first time on Fight Night. So, as you can see in the preliminary matches, Korean Air is down, has lost 2 games so far, both by knockout. Basically, what that means is he got it was a clean sweep by his opponent. So in the preliminaries, it's best of 5. 2 times so far, he's went down 0-3. So I know he's definitely gotten a lot better since then, and I know he definitely wants to redeem himself and possibly take a knockout of his own, or at least just add a win to that 0-2 stat. Get rid of that big old 0 on there. And Demo is trying to get his first win. So we'll see how they do. It should be very exciting. You can see the key strengths there. These guys kind of submitted me very basic stuff. I know Korean Air's creep spread is pretty good. His macro is good. Demo says that his micro and his macro is good. Those are his strengths. So I guess he's just a basic all-around good player. Nothing really out of the ordinary as far as their strengths go. So we'll see how this plays out. Let's go ahead and show the game to you guys here. This is a best of 5, 0-0, and starting map is Alterzim's Stronghold. Down in the bottom left, for playing for Demos Esports, it is Demo. And up in the top left, playing for Team Gravity, who apparently I forgot to set as Team Gravity somehow, it is Korean Air. So we'll see how this plays out. It's a very big map. Korean Air actually scouting the right way right off the bat with his Overlord. And because it's so big, he's not worried about anything weird. Obviously, it's ZVT, so it's standard to go for that hatchery first before pool. So he just plays it out, and he's going to do that. And likewise, Demo opting for the CC first, which I definitely like that play. I think it's the right move. It's a smart move, even on maps that are not this big or maps that are 2-player. You can safely get away with it. This just makes it even safer. So he's going to go ahead and open up economical. We're not seeing anything crazy like double 11-11 in the middle of the map or anything like that. Korean Air drone scouting, but he doesn't need to. He'll see it with this Overlord. Obviously, he doesn't know that, so you can't just bet on the fact that this Overlord is going to find it, but he's going to see it. He'll see the timing on the barracks here, and that'll be really telling of a CC first. He can freely fly in because obviously there won't be anything to shoot him, but he should be able to tell by looking at it, and we'll see how he reacts if he decides to maybe get a really quick third hatchery or what he opts to do. Yep, Demo initially was heading out to the right, but he saw this Overlord angle, so he knew that Korean Air had to be up at the north side, or the top left, I guess. Probably would have been best if Korean Air pulled that Overlord back, and as soon as he saw this, I mean, he's not really gaining anything from it at this point, other than having an Overlord here for later scouting, but I think it would have been better to just pull it back and not give away his initial position to Demo. He would have ended up scouting totally the wrong way. Would have never got in the base. Would have never saw anything. Now he knows there's no gas on the way. He doesn't have to worry about some kind of speed lane all in or anything wacky like that. But not the end of the world. Not a big deal. Things will play out as normal. He's going to go into the reactor Hellion, and I'm willing to bet he'll follow that up with just regular bio-mine play. The good old bread and butter of TVZ. Korean Air is going to try to get some a little bit of information. Going to poke up there and see what he can see, and he'll know what he's looking at. So nothing out of the ordinary. Second gas pretty early, so maybe he's going to go straight into Banshee. That gas is definitely early. We'll see if he throws down a starport. Probably third CC, and he probably throw down a starport right there. I can't imagine any other reason why he would get that second gas so early. Yeah, Tech Lab. Oh, Tech Lab coming down. Okay, so what's this guy doing? Oh, okay. So I totally called it wrong. Demo opting to go for some kind of a mech play. Definitely surprising. Still definitely a viable option. He's going to go ahead and get a tech lab on that second factory. Maybe he's going to do some kind of a blue flame opening. So far, I'm 0% right on my guesses, but I'm going to throw another guess out there and try to go 50-50. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to pump out 3 Hellions at a time and get blue flame as soon as this as soon as the tech lab lands on there. Korean will scout it. He's going to sacrifice this Overlord, and, you know, it's the right move. He sees the barracks. He sees there's no tech lab on it now, which is normal. Sees the second factory, so he should know what's up, and his response probably will be roaches. Yeah, okay. Alright, good. I'm going 50-50, so he's going to go ahead and pump out a bunch of Hellions, try to do some early damage. Hellions doing a little poking at those queens. Not going to really accomplish anything. Needs to make sure not to lose them because speed is finished, but Korean Air... Okay, there's his lings. I mean, he really could wrap them around it. If Demo's not paying attention, well, he's paying attention. Loses one. Not the end of the world. But Korean Air needs to do something. Eventually, Demo is going to have too many lings... I mean, too many Hellions that are blue flame for really any amount of Zerglings. He's going to get a Spine, transfuse that second queen. So Spines and queens are the answer, but roaches would be really nice. I mean, he should know what he's facing because he saw the second factory. Although if he gets these surrounded, that's not going to be too good. He's losing a couple of them. No, decent micro there. Ends up killing most of the Zerglings. Blue Flame's finishing up in about 12 seconds, and this is when it's going to get scary for Korean Air. There's not a lot of queens on the field. A few of these Hellions are weak, but there's really no Zerglings. 24 on the way. A few of them are going to pop. If he can get them behind the Hellions, which he does do, he can hold it. There's still Hellions in production. Demo, I guess I wasn't wrong. So I'm 100% right about everything. He is not going mech. He is going back into bio after this attack. I don't know why my puppy's doing that. But actually, Korean Air is going to clean this up pretty handily. Not losing any drones. I don't think he lost a queen either, did he? He might have. No, he didn't lose a single queen. And he's going to clear these Hellions up, managing to chase them away with only Zergling. All of them are weak except one, so there's 3 more. That should chase him off, but being able to pick off those 4 Hellions would be nice. But Demo's too good for that. Microing him back, letting the weak ones run away, the good ones fight. So things have stabilized. It could have been very scary, but it was handled really well by Korean Air. And Demo didn't commit too much to it. He definitely wanted to get a lot more damage done than that. But it's not the end of the world. Yeah, only managing to pick off... Oh, actually, no workers. That was Korean Air. Korean Air managed to kill 2 workers. Mutalisks are going to be on the way. There is Stim just about finishing up some Widow Mines. His 1-1's about to finish. Korean Air's upgrades are a little bit ahead. Actually a good amount ahead. About a little over a minute ahead. But again, that's usually pretty normal. So he's going to go in, he's like, okay, so you are not going bio, or you're not going mech. It kind of plays out well, though, because these factories now can be... I actually like this opening, now that I'm thinking about it. These factories now will be used for Widow Mines, and Drilling Claws can get researched instantly. And it didn't really hurt his economy. He wasn't all in off of it or anything like that. So a really cool opening. I'm sure it's probably normal. I'm sure I've seen it before, but I just never really thought about it too much. Executed pretty well. It would have been better for Demo if he could have done a lot more damage. Obviously, it would have been better if he could have done more damage, but not the end of the world. Korean Air getting those Banelings. Mutalisks are out now, so they're going to chase away the Hellions. And Korean Air is getting his crypt spread starting, keeping it moving. 4th base going down. And, well, Demo has not started his combat... Okay, there it goes. Nothing's worse than forgetting combat shields, and you realize it, and you're not sure why you're losing all your fights. Actually, forgetting an upgrade is probably worse, like an attacker armor. It's the worst thing when you put it on... You have 2 engineering bays, and you put both the attack and the armor upgrade on one. You just misclicked on the hotkeys or something. Needs to be really careful with those Mutalisks, but he knows that. Demo gonna go ahead and try to clear up this creep. decent surround, good split. A lot of banelings coming in, not getting really huge hits, and Korean Air cleans that up. 2-2 has just finished. Didn't need 2-2 for that fight, but a nice little victory for Korean Air. Now he is down on workers. 30 more Lings in production and a good amount of Widow Mines there, so I don't think he can push into this. He's going to make some more Banelings and try to, but with 4 Widow Mines here, that's a pretty nice spot. It can definitely be done. These Mutalisks are going to come back in. There is 3 turrets there, but turrets are not like spores. Mutals are not afraid of them. And another big wave of Lings coming in. We're going to see what Korean Air can do with this, how these mines hit, if they hit at all. Not the best hits there. No, really bad hits there. Korean Air managing to bait. Actually, the mines did more damage to Demo than they did to Korean Air. Gets in there, does clean up a good chunk of workers, and gets on top of these Marines. Now, these reinforcing Marines should be enough to chase this away. But he managed to kill 21 workers in that fight there, so... Yep, and 2-2 just finishing up for Demo, so he does stabilize. I guess I missed a counter drop here. Korean Air, I don't know if he pulled his workers, did he? Yeah. Korean Air actually didn't lose any workers, so I don't know how he reacted to that so fast, but he didn't lose a single worker from that drop. So he's on top of it. While Korean Air currently cranking over 400 APM. Not average, but both of these players are playing extremely fast. Demo really fast as well. Usually Zerg seems to be a little bit higher on the APM scale, but Demo going toe-to-toe with the APM. They're going to meet in the middle here. Korean Air does not want to fight that, so he needs to pull that away. He's worried about these Mutalisks in the main base of Demo. Overlord speed just finished up, and creep spread's still pushing out. Demo's trying to push it back. Going to get a bunch of those active tumors. Needs to be careful. He's still on creep. Widow Mines do get burrow. There's only 3 there. Wow, very good Widow Mine hit with that one. I don't know which one it was, but he got some really nice hits, but not the best splits. Okay splits, I suppose. Managing to fight off a creep. So, but that one Widow Mine took out a lot of units there. And he's just keeping on the pressure, cleaning up this creep, which is starting to move along pretty nicely. Muta count has not been touched too much, so that's really the important thing. He needs to keep these alive. If he loses these, then he's not going to be in a good shape, or in a good spot. It would be really good for him if he could catch up, goes ahead and kills off the lonely, what are those called, Scantipedes? I forget what they're called, but apparently he was really concerned about it, did not want it roaming around on the map. Lone medevac sitting there. Also a medevac coming up here to this 4th base. Gonna drop there. It will get spotted when it drops, but there's nothing there to defend it at the moment. This 4th base is going up. The Mutalisks... Oh, he's gonna... he might actually pick off this hatchery. Needs to transfuse. Does not transfuse with the with that queen there. So, pretty big mistake. Definitely could have saved the hatchery, no doubt about it, and would have saved the... well, he did save the drones, but... He should not lose this hatchery. The Marines are targeting down the hatchery, but all the units are there to defend. Does lose the medevac as well, but he's keeping the Mutalist busy, which means that Korean Air cannot get on top of this before it got up. There's 3 turrets there now, so he doesn't necessarily want to really go head to head with that. But it could have been done before those got established. Sorry if you guys can hear that in the background. He's crying for no reason. Another engagement. Korean Air, I don't know. Well, Demo did not split, but Korean Air pulled back anyway. We'll see. He takes out 3 mines. Those mines do get burrowed. Needs to be careful. And again, huge mine hits. It's just like there's a very fine line, and Korean Air is just not hitting it. He's going in, and it's got to be like a millisecond to when those mines are actually getting when they're shooting, compared to when Korean Air is pulling back, because they're pulling back, but he's not avoiding the shots. Those are good. Only 1 active mine shot, and or actually, I'm sorry, there's 2. Now there's 3. I don't know. I can't count very well. But he's going to go ahead and try to take this. Needs to be really careful. The mines do get off, and a big mine hit. Now Demo is in a very good spot. Yeah. And I guess he was dropping over at Korean Air's natural. So, Demo does go up 1-0 in the series. We'll see. We'll see what map Korean Air picks next. Definitely a good game. I think Korean Air just had a couple too many big mine hits that really hurt him. And oh, we do have Baldwin back. His building did not burn down. His building did not burn down. That's good news. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull him in this call. Let's call him. And while we wait on that, we're gonna get Korean Air's second map pick.
Hello.
Welcome back.
So that actually just happened.
What happened? Was it a legit fire?
No. Apparently someone on my floor sprayed cologne too close to a fire alarm.
What?
Yeah, and I guess it set it off.
Is that a real thing? I never heard of that.
That's a real thing. Yeah, that actually happened. And interesting, another building on my campus had a fire alarm minutes before ours, so the fire trucks went there, and then we had to wait for them, so that's why it took so long. But I am back, and I am ready to see this second game. I did watch most of that first game. Unfortunate for Korean Air.
Yeah, what did you think about the game?
I think that Korean Air had some real shots to win that. When he cleaned up the first army, I thought Korean Air was in a really good position. The problem that I think Korean Air maybe regularly has in ZBT is that he's a player that stays on Mutolink Bane for quite some time, and he doesn't. I mean, that game he never got an infestation pit, he never got a hive, he never worked towards through 3 or ultraless tech. So that's a way that you can play for a while, but once the Terran starts getting to 4 bases and starts getting 3-3, you're gonna have a lot of trouble, and I think that's what we saw that game.
Yeah, I agree. It looked good when that first army got cleaned up, but he wasn't able to really capitalize on it.
Korean Air is a very good ZBT player, and one thing that Korean Air does very, very well is that he will clean up an army, and he will quickly make the decision that, okay, I just cleaned up this army, I'm gonna go for it now. I'm gonna go for the throat, and I'm gonna morph in Banes, and I'm gonna make a bunch more Lings, and I'm really gonna try to attack it in that game. And that's something that we did see when he was attacking into the third after he cleaned up that army. One thing I would like to note is that I don't think that decision is as good on a map like Alterzine, because when you have such a long rush distance between the maps, even though speedlings are quite fast, when they have to run that quick, the reinforcements just don't get there in time to help out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think on a map like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think on a map like Habitation Station, that attack that Korean Air decided to go for the throat after cleaning up that army, that attack might have ended the game. But on a map where there's just such a long rush distance, it's really tough to make that work.
Yeah, makes sense. Definitely makes sense. And I suppose if it was cross spawn on Alterzine, it would have been even worse had he tried doing that.
Indeed, yeah.
Well, let me make sure I get the logos all set up properly. Yeah, I'm really loving this game hard. I mean, we've been using it for a while, but
it looks really, really nice on the stream. One of my favorite things is the upgrades too. It lets you know. That's really, really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. Just when all that action's going on, and you know, it's a nice feature. But yeah.
Indeed. So we are going to hop into this game too on Polar Night. This is Korean Air's map pick, which is interesting because this is a map that is a very polarizing map for Zergs in ZBT. So some Zergs will tell you that they hate this map ZBT. Other Zergs don't mind it. I think it has its pros and cons. For Korean Air, I understand why Korean Air might like this map with his play style of staying on Ling Muta Bane for quite some time and going for hard, decisive attacks to end games. This can be a great map for that because it's not the longest rush distance ever, and also you can spread creep very, very well on this map. There's just pretty much 2 main paths that you have to get it down. So I understand this pick, and I anticipate to see a nice game.
Yeah, definitely. I know the push when you start that rally, right around 10-11 minutes, you get your third and you start pushing towards the Zerg's third or their fourth over and over and over. It's a really short distance for that.
Indeed, yeah. And I think that's why some Zergs might not like this map. Especially when you take the third, as we were talking about earlier in the series before this, when you take the third that's in front of your main, that rush distance between your third and the Zerg's third is very, very small.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what Korean Air has in store. I liked Demo's opening last game. I really thought that was cool, doing the blue flame and then just transitioning into bio, using those double factories for Widow Mine production pretty early.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I liked it on that map. I thought it was very interesting because we normally when we see Zergs not go roach against that, they die very often. The Korean Air somehow he got the spine in his third mineral line, and he just had pretty nice Zergling micro against the Blue Flame Hellions and was able to ward those off. So after that happened, I thought Korean Air was going to be in quite a nice position, but Demo was able to bring it back throughout the game.
Yeah, he did a couple good drops into Korean Air's natural. Not really getting any worker kills done, but took down a hatchery. And I think Korean Air just took too many bad fights off of the creep, and there was a few really crucial mine hits that I think went off that really sealed the deal for Demo last game. And it was such a fine line from that mine not going off to it actually going off and hitting a bunch of Zerglings after they clumped. And it went in Demo's favor and not in Korean Air's favor, and that mine shot got off every single time.
Absolutely, yeah. So both players playing pretty standard here. We have a Reaper opening coming from Demo. Korean Air actually playing gasless, which is interesting because Korean Air is traditionally a 17 gas Zerg player in CBT. He very much does not like playing without Zergling speed in any matchup, but he has recently been playing more and more gasless styles, taking double gas at opening 4 Queen and then taking double gas at 530, and I think that's what we'll see this game.
Do you think he's going to try to do some kind of timing with the Zerglings, or just use it to kind of just play defensive? Like, you think he's going to make that big swell? I guess he would have made gas already if he wanted to do that, right?
Yeah, for an earlier one, we would have already seen gas, but there's still some Zergling Baneling timings we might see later games with 1-1. But right now, it's certainly too early to tell. We'll probably see good drone micro from Korean Air, saving that one drone. Also good Zergling micro, trying to get as much damage as he can on this Reaper.
Yeah,
it's really nice, making sure he can't run by.
Yeah, good control on both ends. That Reaper needs to be careful because that Queen's gonna pop out. Yeah, he knows though. He's not stupid. He's gonna back up from that. Put that bad boy on patrol. Let him heal up and then hop back in.
So we are seeing that 4 Queen opening I was just referring to. The next big question is going to be when Korean Air decides to gas. The standard Zerg timing for gas in the meta right now is generally 530, which is a nice middle ground. Some Zergs will still get double gas at 6 minutes, which just makes you be able to get your third a little bit quicker, but it's also a little bit of a riskier way to play. Korean Air is double gassing at 530, you know. So a very middle of the road build, very safe. The next thing that'll be interesting to see is when Korean Air decides to take his third. We are seeing a relatively quick starport out of Demo, so might see some sort of drop play.
Yeah, it's definitely quick. I think what he's going to do with this is he's going to get a Viking out. You know, that Polt style where you get that one Viking and just have him patrol and try to pick off as many overlords as you can early on. Usually that's a pretty good follow-up when you do the Reaper opening, so I think that's what he's going to do. Unless he drops Hellions, but I think that'd be weird. Yeah, but
it'd be a Banshee.
No,
it is going to be that Viking.
Yeah, because if it was a Banshee, he would have placed it right next to his barracks.
Yeah. So this Viking's going to come out and probably be able to kill a good amount of overlords. Interesting to note is that Korean Air has not yet taken his third. This is a little bit late than we generally see. The normal timing, I would say, is around 6 minutes for a Zerg to take his third. Korean Air staying on 2 base a little bit longer. So we'll see how that plays a role in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure maybe what's going through his head, why he's opting for that. He is getting his creep going pretty good, and Demo in return is denying those active tumors, which is a big deal early on, just picking them off, slowing that creep spread down. Third does go down now. Overlord obviously is going to see the Viking. It's shooting it, so he's going to go ahead and patrol that. Try to pick off. There's no other ones on the right side, so Korean Air's got 2 on the left, and the rest will probably just head back home where they can be safe from the Viking. But three Overlord kills is always nice, especially if it's supply blocks.
So, interesting to note is Kriener actually did a 3-queen opening, which is not typical, but will give him a better defense against these Hellions right now, and will also help him get his creep spread more. Another thing to note is that Kriener actually got a Spore Crawler in both of his mineral lines, perhaps misreading this as Banshee play.
Yeah, he had to. Otherwise, I mean, he's not going to make a Spore for the Vikings. So, yeah, I think you're right. It's probably not the end of the world. It's not a huge deal, but not something that he wants to do.
They actually might play a good role later in the game. It's just nice to have Spore Crawlers. He wouldn't make them if he knew what was happening, but later game when drops become more relevant, having Spore Crawlers is just a nice thing to have.
Yeah, that's a good point, definitely. So we
are seeing. Oh, sorry, don't. I mean, we are seeing Devo play a 3 command center build, opposed to some sort of 2 base build. The next thing I'll be interested to see is where he decides to take this third. Devo is sitting out 2 medevacs full of Marines and 1 Widow Mine.
Yeah, and he'll line it up with Stim, finishing up here in about 9 seconds. So maybe he's just boosting it out to get these units out here faster. And he's gonna. There's not much at this third for Korean Air, and there's a pretty good army.
Yeah, this is a pretty big army. And Korean Air actually had a relatively late bailing that's still not complete, around 5 seconds away. And there's just not enough links here, and there's only 10 in production. But what he really needs is bailings, and that third goes down very quick.
Yeah, he does pick that off. He needs to try to get his units away. He's going to actually just lose all of his units. No, actually, no, never mind. I couldn't see what was going on.
That was nice targeting with his queens killing a medevac. That is important, but there's just simply too much here. Kriener didn't read this build, and he didn't have bailings at the time that they needed them. So this little army is doing way more damage than it should.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he opted for a later third CC, which allowed him to get this attack going. But that's, I mean, that Korean Air needed to read that and needed to get those bailings out faster. So I don't think it's over, but he definitely did not want to lose that third base.
Absolutely, yeah. We are seeing another double drop go across the map for Demo, full of Marines and 2 Widow Mines. Normally this would be a dangerous thing to do with a Spire just now completing, but in a game where Korean Air loses his third and he's lacking on minerals, he can't spin this gas that he has on the Mutalisk. So this drop might be able to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, and there's 2 Widow Mines so far, right in that mineral line. Kind of just actually not really, yeah, going off on the larva. So it could have been a lot better for Demo, a lot worse for Korean Air. He's going to pop back in, and actually he's going to lose that medevac if Korean Air targets, which he is targeting. So those units are trapped. Needs to make sure to not lose any Mutalisk to that. What's the worker kill?
And while he did just lose that drop with a lot of units, it's important to note that it wasn't completely useless. It gave him the freedom and the availability to get this third up and running. And now we are seeing him take this third in front of his main, and he's going to start this push, which is going to be very hard for Korean Air to hold off with a late third and not the economy that he normally will have, that he normally should have.
Exactly. And 1-1 is just finishing up for him. Bailing speed does finish up for Korean Air as well, but this push is kind of...
a lot of Widow Mines.
Yeah, there's a lot of Widow Mines. I mean, with a good engagement, good splits, actually. I guess that was okay.
That was okay. That was maybe... the thing is he needs those veins. In a game where he has a full economy and he can make a lot of veins, that would probably be better. But in this game, that wasn't ideal, but it was okay.
I suppose it could have been worse if those Widow Mines got big shots off, then it would have been a little more devastating. Viking actually hasn't done too much, but he's going to clear up these Overlords that are spreading creep now. So initially, it doesn't look like he was able to get many kills. Just getting a second one now, but he'll probably catch a third here shortly. Actually, he's going to route around that Overlord, but yeah, Demo is on 3-base saturation. He's up in workers, he's up in supply. Upgrades are favoring Korean Air again, but... I don't know. With a good engage, anything can happen.
You just watch out for these Widow Mines. They do blow up before they're able to get their shots off. That shot was not very good. Korean Air doing a great job of targeting medevacs. That's the biggest way that you can punish Terran's army. he's going to get pushed back here. An interesting thing I want to note is that if we look at the creep spread on this map, it's being spread very, very well on this left-hand side, but that's not where fights are happening. Fights are happening on the right-hand side where this creep has been denied and has not been able to spread as well as Korean Air would like it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, obviously, Demo keeps pushing to this side, and that's where it's important, but that's why it's not there. He's able to clean it up. Eventually, the creep on that side is going to help if he can get past this third base rally that keeps going on. You know, when the fights start going to the fourth side, or to the side where the fourth is going down now, then that creep spread is going to be beneficial. But until it gets to that point, Korean Air actually doing a Baneling, little counterattack here with 5 Banelings. Demo.
This could do a lot. No bunker. This is a very exposed mineral line.
Yeah, no bunker, no wall off or anything like that. So, a drop coming down, and now the spores are coming into effect. He built another one at his third. So he's going to clean that up, and things are kind of... Here he goes.
Running these Banelings in. Oh, but Demo's not paying attention. Oh, massive.
Wow.
Kills. I'm not even sure. That was a lot.
Yeah, he got 18. I don't know if he killed much
man.
before that, but it's right around 18 kills from those 5 Banelings. So...
Yeah, that was a lot. I actually think that just brought Korean Air back to this game. What we are seeing from Korean Air again is a game where he's got his Lings, he's got his Muse, and he's got his Banes, but no infestation pit, no intention of hive. He's just going to be sticking on this Ling Muta Bane for a while, and it's going to work for him until the longer this game goes on without Korean Air doing lots of damage, the worse it's going to be for him.
Yeah, and he needs to be really careful fighting off a creep here like this. Good engagements, again, not the best Widow Mine hits, but he needs to get out of there now. And he's getting burrows, so I wonder if we're going to see some burrowed Baneling hits. I mean, if anything, that's a great way to get back into things.
Yeah, we very well might, and that's a good way to play it. If you're going to stick on this layer tech for so long, that's a good way to get the most out of it. He is trading pretty much all of his Ling Bane army for really not that much. He needs a couple seconds here to get his army. He's going to go back in for a fight. And Korean Air still doing a great job. Notice how every time Korean Air gets in a fight, he targets medevacs immediately.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get up too much of a critical medevac count. In fact, he's only got 1 on the field right now. So yeah, that's really good on his part. But now he's up in supply. He's up in worker supply. His army supply is a little bit lower. Demo not starting his 3-3 yet. I think his 2-2 finished a little while ago. So maybe with all this action going on, he's kind of forgot about it. It'll probably get started up here shortly, but he needs to make sure not to delay that. Yeah, he needs to make sure to get that going ASAP. Burrow Baneling's on the right-hand side. Does get scanned right now, so not going to get caught off guard with those. Those would have been nice. While he's pushing that way, Korean Air is pushing to the 4th. Pulls him back.
Just the fact that this 4th is up is very scary for KA, or for Korean Air, sorry. But now that Demo has seen Burrowed Banes and he knows that that's a part of this game, I promise you we're going to start seeing a lot more scans, which, while it might be kind of bad because he might see the Burrowed Banes, is actually kind of good because instead of mules, he's forced to make panic scans.
Exactly, just knowing that's... Oh, wow, these Banelings!
Oh, these Banelings! Oh, what are they doing? Oh, man, good splits. He got a couple Widow Mines, but that was like 25 Banelings. I think they were moving to the left side,
I think. Definitely a misclick. He didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, the pathing went in front when he wanted them to go in back.
But like you were saying, yeah, just the threat, knowing that burrowed Banelings are now a possibility, it just adds to that. Even if Korean Air doesn't pull that maneuver or doesn't try to pull it off again, just knowing that he can really puts that fear into Demo. Like, okay, I gotta scan every few steps of my Marines just to make sure that I don't hit something.
Absolutely. I want to mention this again. We have now passed the 20-minute mark, and there is still no infestation pit, still no signs of hive. A fight is going down though. All these Banelings running in.
Wow.
A lot of Marines here. Pretty good Baneling hits though.
And the medevacs get cleaned up again. One of them having units in it. Yeah, he's gonna shit target him down again.
Yep, last 2. That was very nice.
Korean Air looking in an okay position here.
Yeah, this is going better for Korean Air. I think one of the biggest things that's going good for Korean Air is Demo started his 3-3 lane, so this is really delayed. There's a lot of Marines here though, and there's no Banelings, and there's not going to be Banelings for a while. He is morphing them now, but Demo sees this and he can jump on top of these. And he's absolutely going to lose the third. This is a really bad position for Korean Air now. Yeah,
just when it was looking good, he gets his position here, and I mean that 4-base production I think is just... There's a lot of Mutalisks though. And these units are kind of coming in like one by one here, so he does lose that. But that fourth base, I think, is really a big deal.
And Korean ground army is really, really lacking right now. He just doesn't have the means to get out the large number of Zerglings and Banelings that he needs.
Yeah.
He's going to run back in here, and oh, well, the Widowmine hit wasn't as bad as it could have been. He is targeting Medivacs, but there's just so much on the ground here.
Does hit a Burrow Baneling on a few Marines, but needs to be careful with those now.
Ooh, now they're massive fucking I don't mean to cuss. Massive Widowmine hits on the Mutalisk. One more hit on these Mutalisks, and a lot of them are going to die. And the biggest thing about Korean Air's style is you need to conserve Mutalisk. You can't lose Mutalisk at all, which is what Korean Air has been doing a relatively good job. But every Mutalisk that you lose is one less that you have, you know, later in the game. And he's gonna fly.
Wow.
Gosh, that was really close.
There's nothing at this third base though. Demo is trying to rush over there, but these workers are kind of not in the best spot. No defenses. More Medivacs going. Korean Air's been doing over and over. That's been the reoccurring theme of this game, is really good Medivac targeting, which I think is really keeping him in the game. Demo's 3-3 is about to finish up, so we'll see what happens there. Wow, needs to be careful. They're all on cooldown, so he will clean those up. It could have been a lot worse with those mine hits there. Even more mines getting picked off on the cooldown. In fact, there's only
now the 3-3. Now that 3-3 is finished for Demo, this becomes a very, very different game. In a 2-2 versus 2-2 game, Lingbane Muta can fight reasonably well against Demo's army. When Demo hits 3-3, it becomes very, very different. So Korean Air has gotten a hive of his own now, but he's lacking in the resources to even get 3-3 or even to consider Ultralisk or Infestors. So I expect Korean Air to stay on Lingbane Muta for a while. So this 3-3 army from Demo is going to be in a very good position to do a lot.
Yeah, but Banelings are getting great hits over and over, and the mines are all on cooldown, so they do get cleaned up. So Korean Air leading in supply, drop going down at the newly remade third. It's gonna get chased down. The Mutalisks are yeah, he'll chase it down. Good Marine splits, just getting all that he can out of those units. Demo trying to get that fifth base going in the back, putting a turret there to clean the Overlord that's making the creep, going to clear those rocks. And Korean Air does get his bases up, and he's got a fifth one as well. And the creep spread is still okay.
Yeah, the creep spread is getting pretty good on this left-hand side. If he can get that fifth base mining, he's going to be in a really good position. The thing we're looking at now is that Korean Air has paid money for this infestation pit, paid money for this hive, but he now doesn't have enough money to get 3-3. He does start his third attack upgrade, but it's very, very late. He is trading views for missile turrets, which isn't that good, but he only lost 2, and he's going to force those to be rebuilt.
Yeah, and if they don't get rebuilt, then he can always sweep back in and get a lot of worker kills. Maybe get a planetary if it catches it out of position, but he needs to worry about this army pushing forward on him right now. He did start his +3 attack, but he did not start his +3 armor. And we'll see how these splits are from each player. Mine's not really going off, and more good Baneling hits, more good Muta targeting, and Korean Air having a pretty substantial supply lead at this point. Needs to be careful.
And the Demo's third mineral line gets ravaged too by just a handful of lings, really keeping him in this game. Demo it looks close to securing his fifth, but these rocks need to be taken down first. Yeah,
and now Korean Air finally feeling confident enough where he's beaten down Demo's army enough times where, okay, well now I don't have to worry about defending with these Mutalisks. I can be a little bit aggressive. I can get in your production line, and he's going to take out this CC here.
And if you saw that move, Korean Air goes to the main. He stays there for just a second, knowing that Demo's pulling his army there. And then he goes, okay, I'll take this command center, and very easily picks that off. Korean Air does now have his 3-3 starting. He's still lacking on the resources. He does not have enough for the Adrenal Glands upgrade, and does not have enough to even consider Ultralisk. So we are going to see Lingbane Muta for a while now, but once this 3-3 finishes up for KA, he's gonna have a much better time fighting this army.
Yeah, and another, mine does get off. Another CC getting really close to going down. He's going to hop back in here, and he's really doing a good job at this point. Needs to keep an eye on those very closely. Really doing a good job at this point of abusing the mobility of these Mutalisks, but needs to be careful not to get them trapped in some awkward position, running over a bunch of mines. That can really turn the tide, but he's in an okay spot at this point.
Yeah, he has taken the supply lead pretty healthily now by 30. He is burrowing banelings around the map too, which is a good way to. It's a good way. I don't want to say he's behind. I mean, this is a really strange game, but burrowed banes are going to do a lot in this game, especially in a game where you're picking off command centers regularly. Doesn't quite get that one very close, but whenever you kill command centers, that just means less possible scans. So burrowed banelings are going to do more.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All those changelings actually one manages to keep in the army. So a little unfortunate. He does see the whole army positioning, but he's kind of making himself known now, running the opposite way. But there's so much going on. Both players playing at Demo over 300 APM, Korean just under at 280. Does finally land that base in the back, and now he's back at this planetary, which only has one turret.
Going to go in. Yeah, the turrets were never rebuilt, and that goes down instantly. And we're dealing with 2-2 mutas here, soon to be 3-2. These mutas are good. Like, these are some strong mutas. They very quickly kill that mineral line, and they might even kill this planetary fortress. I think they will. And after this, Green Air is going to be in a great position.
Yeah, yep. And another Ling, I guess not really counterattack. A few Lings sweeping into that side, but Demo's in position for that. But they're definitely going toe-to-toe, and you know, I think Demo was in a really good position in the beginning, but Korean Air's just managed to kind of pull this out with great little engagements here and there, and really good muta movement at this point. Demo hasn't had a chance to be aggressive in I don't know how long. He's chasing around this muta army non-stop, and he's too. You know, when you have that many mutas on the field, it's scary to try to load up a few Medivacs to go to drop, because chances are you're going to end up losing them.
Absolutely, yeah. Demo did opt to get a Thor in his army, just noticing how many insanely upgraded Mutalisks there are. That Thor is going to help out in big fights. So I think that's a good decision from him. Interesting to note that Korean Air is now at 31 minutes, finally throwing down the Ultralisk Cavern. And if we look at Demo's army, it's just Marines and Mines.
Yep.
If he gets a few Ultralisks out, it's going to completely destroy this army. Demo needs to identify the Ultralisks are coming and then start mixing some Marauders into his composition to do much better against those.
And there's burrowed banelings everywhere. If he's able to bait the army positioning, which and he catches one set, but he's missing that one, and there's one over on the other side as well. Mutalisk coming back to that mineral line over there. I don't think there's anything built over there, but he's going to sweep into the natural. There's a couple turrets there. Takes those down instantly, gets a few more worker kills, and now there's 3 turrets over at the other base, which I think he's finally going to see. And a huge counterattack coming in again. Korean Air is very nice really playing this well.
Korean Air. He attracts him away with his Mutalisk and then runs his ground army into the third, and now he instantly cleans up all the missile turrets here, kills a bunch of SCVs, and he's going to go back home to defend this drop from Demo.
Yep, dropped there, but only.
And look, Korean Air moves right back.
And all the Medivacs.
Oh my god, the Medivacs. Oh my god.
Wow.
4 Medivacs went down. I think he's going to get the command center and get out. That's just less scans from road banelings. Is there one command center left in this game? No.
Yeah, there's a floating one. Yeah.
One command center left in this game. So burrowed banelings now reign supreme, and I mean Korean Air.
He's gonna walk right over him right here. If Korean Air's paying attention, he can. Oh, he's just barely dodging him. I don't even at this point. I don't think he. Oh, he's not looking.
He's not paying attention.
A lot of mines. But at this point, I don't think he even needs any amazing burrowed baneling hits. I think he's just got enough to.
And there's just too much from Korean Air here. He can run only once from these banelings, but even the Mutalisk can handle these Marines, and Korean Air has the economy to quickly remake a bunch. And if we look at the supply, it's 150 to 60 now.
Yeah, and once this muta count got really critical, that's really been the story of the game. It's just him abusing that mobility over and over and over, and he's done a good job.
That's a good game.
Yep,
that was
GG.
An awesome game.
Very
really
good
well
game.
Played from there.
Very fun game. A lot of action. That was a fun one.
One thing I want to mention about that game is that what we noticed Korean Air doing every single fight was targeting Medivacs and killing Medivacs over and over and over. And in any given fight, there's 3 Medivacs in the army, 4 Medivacs in the army. It's such a big difference compared to having like 10 or 12. And that's really the best way that you can punish a Terran's army moving out. So, really great job from Korean Air. Great Mutalisk control, great Mutalisk movement the entire game. It was just an awesome one. Martin, are you there? I
Oh
think we
yeah, yeah,
may have.
yeah. I'm here.
Oh, hello.
I accidentally muted myself.
Oh, no worries.
What I was saying was the one really good thing about that game, which, like you said, was that medevac count was never able to get really high, and Demo for getting that 3-3 was a little detrimental as well. I don't know if that really made the game, or lost him the game, I should say, but
I agree. That was quite a big deal, and it was really interesting because we saw Demo do massive amount of damage with that just original little poke out, killed the third, killed drones, killed army, and Korean Air was just able to get back into it with just originally with that 5 burrow or that 5 Baneling hit squad that ran into the SCV mineral line at Demo's third, killing 18 SCVs, really brought him back into it. And then throughout the whole game, just really excellent muta control and muta movement. I mean, won that one for KA. Really well played.
yeah, no doubt about it. Demo not too happy with his performance last game. I think he knows he was in a good spot and ended up throwing it. I wouldn't say throwing it, but letting Korean Air climb back into it, and then Korean Air definitely abused the mobility of those mutalisks. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is that Mutalisks just get better and better throughout the game, and that's why Mutalisk conservation is so important, because there is such a big difference between 25 and 35 Mutalisks. And Kriener did a great job of keeping his Mutalisks in safe positions. He flew over Widow Mines like twice, but other than that, really just excellent control, and he was able to rise that muta count throughout the game, and then past 25 minutes, once you have 35 Mutalisks, it's just so easy to kill missile turrets, kill command centers, kill PFs, and just do so much damage.
Yeah, really the only way that I know of to really counter something that heavy, counter that heavy mutalisk count, is you have to put 3, 4, 5 Widow Mines at the base that you're trying to, the really important base, your fourth or whatever. Because you can't build enough turrets once they get those 2 mutas and they're like 20, 30 of them flying around. You can't really build enough turrets. I mean, I suppose you could build like 10 and get high sec auto tracking and all that, but I think the better option is just to burrow a few mines there and hope that Zerg moves into it and loses his mines, which I've definitely, loses his mutas to the mines. I think that's the most cost-effective way and the most efficient way to do it.
Absolutely, yeah. And in a game where something like that does happen, if that happened to Korean Air would have been in a terrible position. I mean, just imagine that game without Korean Air's Mutalisk. The entire game, Korean Air was lacking on the ground, but made up for it with his muta control and the muta count. So, possible better Widow Mine positioning around bases could have helped Demo out that game, I think.
Definitely. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into game number 3. So far, a really fun series. If you guys have not done it yet while we're waiting for this match to get going, please go and give our sponsors a follow on Twitter. Go check them out. Tampa Esports is one of the sponsors for the event, helping us to be able to put this on so frequently. And Android TV Canada is our newest team sponsor, and they are giving away one of the Android boxes to one lucky viewer tonight. So we are selling raffle tickets. They're $1 a piece. All you got to do is get one, and you could win the Android box. It's a really cool product. You can watch TV, movies, all that kind of stuff. If you guys are into UFC or sports, you can watch all those in HD. There's no monthly fees or anything like that. So with the box, you can do all of that for free. Really, really cool product and a great company that's helping support the SC2 scene, helping support a smaller team like our team, Team Gravity, and allowing us to put on cool events and give you guys some cool stuff in return. So definitely go check them out. If you guys are interested in purchasing an Android box, you can do it on their website. The website is androidtvcanada.ca, and you can use a promo code to get an 8% discount on the box, which is Team Gravity. And I'll throw all that information up for you guys again later. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into this game. And
The thing really quick, I want to mention the thing I think is coolest about the box is that there's often times where I'll have friends over or sometimes family, and I'll want to show them something on my computer, but not really have a good way to do that. Or sometimes even maybe I want to get some friends together to watch a StarCraft stream, to watch MLG when it's going on in the weekend, or DreamHack or any kind of tournament like that. And so that's a way that you can do that really well on a nice TV to show it for everyone. But we are going to hop into this game. Korean Air is opening up with a 15 hatch. It looks like we are also seeing a Reaper build again out of Demo, so very similar to last game.
Yep, no deviations. I mean, it's just standard play at this point. Reaper opening again. I wonder. Excuse me. I wonder if he's going to go for the Viking or what he's going to opt to do.
It will be interesting to see what time Korean Air chooses to gas again this game. It looks like again Korean Air is going to play gasless. So traditionally, being a player that takes gas at 17, it looks like he's taken more of a liking to opening gasless. So it looks like we're going to be seeing that again.
Yeah, and it worked out for him last game. I think the key for Korean Air this time is going to be identifying when that third CC comes down. It definitely caught him off guard last time. They didn't read it right, and Demo was able to do a good amount of damage, almost maybe enough that it was like he should have been unable to recover from it. But
yeah, absolutely.
He managed to claw his way back and pull it out, whether it was just great play by Korean Air, maybe a couple of mistakes by Demo, or I think it was a combination of the two. But needs to identify when that third CC goes down, and that's key for basically against any matchup. You know, you got to watch if you're playing TVT, ZVT, any matchup. You need to see when that third CC goes down, or they're going to do some kind of two-base pressure, and identifying it and responding is key to success. Oh yeah, he does have that Reaper in the base.
Demo, Korean Air having nice Ling Micro. You'll notice when Korean Air is microing against this Hellion, he'll pull back the weak ones and only fight with the ones with green or sometimes yellow health. So even just microing to save Lings, he did end up losing a drone, which is unfortunate, but overall a pretty good job from Korean Air so far.
Yeah, usually you should really never. People have figured out enough how to fight these Reapers, and you should really never lose a drone. Demo needs to pay attention, pull that back. Yeah, he's not going to lose that, but losing a drone isn't the biggest deal, but it's definitely it can be avoided. It should be avoided.
Mm-hmm. So Korean Air playing the same way as last game, opening up 4 Queen, 530 double gas. It'll be interesting to see if Korean Air opts to go 5 Queen again like he did last game, which is an interesting alteration to the standard build where Zergs normally get 4 Queen. It just helps you get a little more creep spread out, a little more defense against a possible Banshee, and of course defense against Hellions and Reapers poking at your third, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yep, we'll see. Also, on the other hand, I'm wondering if Demo's going to swap this Stargate, or the Starport over to make a Banshee. Nope, he's going to get a Viking, and then he'll probably get Stim here shortly, once he gets, obviously, 100 gas. So it looks like he's kind of doing basically the same thing before. He's going to do the Reaper Hellion at the front to try to get what damage he can do, what damage he can get done, if that makes sense. Do what he can do with it, and then get that Viking out there to shoot these Overlords. Now, he is adding on another barracks and not getting his third CC yet, so again, Korean Air needs to identify this, and I don't think he's going to, because this Overlord is not going to get in to see that.
No, absolutely not. An interesting thing to note is that normally in a ZVT at this time, what we're looking at is a dance between the Queens and the Hellions around the Zerg's third. Korean Air, however, takes his third much later, so he doesn't even deal with that. He just decides, okay, I'll just drone on 2 bases for a little bit, take my third a little bit later and safer, and just not deal with having to risk losing possible Queens or Lings or drones to your Hellion force.
Yep, exactly. Speed's just about finishing up, but there's not too many Zerglings on the field. I guess there's an okay amount to push that back. But we'll see if he takes the damage that he did last game. The third is under fire. I mean, they're not going to kill it by themselves. As soon as speed finishes, he's going to dart forward and try to surround those units, which here he goes. Demo's going to pull back. Not really, not messing up there at all. Obviously, he knows not to get surrounded there. A lot of creep tumors going down, not able to target them. So creep spread's going to start getting moving along pretty good here. There's a lot of tumors that just went down there.
we do see Koreaner taking his Baneling Nest at a little bit of a more appropriate time. Learning from his mistakes last game, I believe. Last game, he did not have the Baneling Nest when he needed it, and he paid for it dearly. This game, getting it at a good time, which actually will come in handy against this build that Demo's doing. I do think he's going to get a little bit aggressive here. It is... Oh, I think it's the same build, maybe, as last game?
It looks very similar. Let's see. He'll get these 2 medevacs out, yeah, and then he'll boost them across the map. I guess he's waiting on these 3 more Marines to fit in this second medevac. Actually, maybe he's kind of forgetting about it. Yeah, there he goes. All right, so yeah, he's doing the same exact build. The thing is, Korean Air with a counterattack. All the supply depots are up. Needs to repair that bunker. If he gets in there, even that amount of lings.
To be very, very annoying.
Yeah,
and
very
an
annoying.
Interesting contrast. An interesting contrast from last game, where Korean Air simply did not have enough lings or banes to deal with this. This game, getting a baneling nest at a much better time, making lings when he needs to, and I think he's going to be in a much better position to hold this off. He is getting overreaching, maybe a little bit too much, losing a bit of lings here. These banelings are going to help him out, but he might lose these to the Hellions.
Yeah, he did go down that choke that he really didn't want to do. We'll see if he can get any good, and no real good baneling hits. Like he has them, they're just not doing any good.
Yeah, I think Greener is going to lose his third again, despite getting the units and the banelings at the appropriate time.
Maybe there is a good amount of lings on the way, so that's going to be key. He's targeting on the medevac, transfusing his queens. Demo kind of going for the natural, kind of going for the throat at this point, feeling pretty confident with his army. And these lings are just coming in piece by piece, so unless Korean can put a stop to this, this could be, I don't know. He's going to get a good surround here. Medevacs are weak. One goes down.
Boost away.
And just needs to save the... Yeah.
Demo's decision here to go into the natural is pretty interesting, and I think I like it now. At first, I thought that he should just kill the third, but now that he's going into the natural, he's A, stopping mining time, and killing queens, which is major, and B, he's slowly killing lings as they come out. They're coming out in like packs of 2, packs of 4, and he's slowly killing them, which just makes Green Air make more and more lings, which aren't drones. Meanwhile, if we look at Demo's side of the map, he's landed his third. He's getting SCVs over there, and he's setting up his economy for the mid game. So I very much like this opening from Demo.
Yeah, he executed it pretty well. Not too many worker kills off the bat. Now they're starting to rack up. Yeah.
Yeah, a double drop in the main with two Widow Mines too, and he's going to kill even more lings, and Greeners has to tap out. So a nice build, very similar to Game 1, almost the same build, and really well executed. I think Koreaner might have overreached a little bit with his lings and banelings. He might have gotten a little bit overconfident, because last game his problem was not having the banelings when he needed them. This game he had the banelings, so he might have said, well, I fixed the problem, I'll be fine, but still you need to control the banelings well to deal with that army, because that army is still very scary even when you have banelings.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit too eager, wanting to push down that little choke, where Demo had kind of microed back into. Ended up kind of splitting his units out, and he was off creep, and Korean Air just committed too much, over extended his units, and he had the units. He tried to do it off creep, down a choke, and it obviously did not work well for him. So Demo does take the lead up 2-1, so it is match point. It is a best of 5, so whoever gets the if Demo wins the next game, he wins the series, and Korean Air does not want that to happen. That would make Korean Air 0-3 in Fight Night. He did not get knocked out. If you guys are new to the way we do the stats, basically a knockout is a clean sweep. So if anybody loses all 3 games, like a 0-3 or whatever, that's considered a knockout. So far, Korean Air has been knocked out twice, which is surprising because he's a great player, but he's also had good opponents. So he avoided it with Demo, but he doesn't want to add another loss to his fight stats, so to speak.
Yeah. And Kreener says in our team Skype chat, I underestimated his build so much, and yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. He thought he just had enough. He got the banelings at the correct time, and he made them at the correct time. But still, you can't go down that choke like that off creep, so overeager. So this game 3, I expect Kreener to play more safely, and I expect him to play more cautious with his units.
Yeah, he put a little too much faith into his banelings, which were off creep without speed, coming down a choke. I mean, it was just a really bad idea to try to do that. And I mean, if Demo wasn't, even if Demo wasn't looking, there was only like 3 or 4 banelings, and they were getting funneled. Like, so it wasn't working out well. They were moving so slow.
Yeah, absolutely. So this next map, map 4, yeah, map 4, Korean Air's map pick. I expect much more cautious play out of Korean Air, and I expect this game to go a little bit longer than that last one.
Hopefully, I wouldn't mind seeing another epic game like the one on Polar Night. So we're gonna see what map Korean Air picks. While he's contemplating his next map choice, I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the sponsorship information for the Android TV Canada, the company that's giving away the box and sponsoring our team. I'll let you guys check that out. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really fast, refresh my drink. We'll actually chug this one and then make another one, and then and then we're gonna hop into the next game. So, Korean Air is contemplating his next map pick. Check out that sponsor. The promo code is down at the bottom. If you guys do want to purchase a box, it's a super cool product. Visit their website, check them out, send them a tweet, thank them for doing the giveaway today, and pick up a raffle ticket. It's a really cool product, and like I said, it's a $150 value. And you can win that with a $1 ticket, so why not? I'm going to go ahead and step away for one quick second, and we'll hop into game number 4 here shortly.
I'm really excited for this game 4. While we are at this break, I'd suggest you guys to follow us on Twitter, and you can at us, you can tweet at us, and suggest any of your favorite players that you would like to see us possibly get for future fight nights, and really anyone. For this one, we got Solar and Tassadar, which are, I mean, incredible Korean. Solar's been doing great in Pro League, so I mean, really, sky's the limit. We've contacted and tried to get many of the popular pros. So anyone that you would like to see in these bi-weekly show matches, just go ahead and send us a tweet, and we'll see what we can do. I'm also really excited for Solar versus Tassadar. It'll be the first time that we see Solar play outside of Pro League, and he's been doing incredible in Pro League, taking out SOS twice. Given that SOS has not been playing very well this Pro League, but still SOS is last year's BlizzCon winner and a top tier Protoss, so someone like Solar beating him twice is a very nice accomplishment. And he's going against Tassadar, who is Love Your Girlfriend Protoss, and it will be interesting to see how Love Your Girlfriend has been treating him and how he's grown and progressed while on that new, interesting, foreign team. Yeah, Beast is making more Pepsi. gonna check out real quick what. Let's check out what the map pool. Pretty sure I know, but let's check it out real quick. This is actually a very, very interesting map pool. I don't think there's any kind of tournament using it. We have Aquilon Waste. Is this right? This is not right. No, Aquilon Waste is not correct. That's number 5. We are on number 7. So let me bring up this map pool real quick to go over it. Korean Air is now choosing his map for Game 4 against Demo. Demo leads 2-1 right now. This is a best of 5.
I have returned.
Oh, hey there. I was just talking about the map pool, which is very, very interesting. We have Alterzim, Daedalus Point, the ultimate Zerg map. Derelict Watcher, another quite good Zerg map. I would not be surprised to see Korean Air choose that. Also, Derelict Watcher is a map that lends itself is very good for Korean Air style of Ling Mutabane with spending a long time on lair. We have Polar Knight, which was already played, Habitation Station, Fruitland, Frost, Giansu, and Gwengali Beach. I actually really, really like this map pool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple maps that people probably hate, mainly Daedalus Point, but obviously that's why the vetoes exist. So, let's see. Yeah, we're waiting on you. Oh, you got an invite to the game.
Oh, okay. I'm joining.
Cool. And well, we're getting some kind words from chat. Like I say, like our casting. So.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Actually, I think last night was our very first time ever casting together. We casted an in-house tournament. For pizza was the prize, and one of our GM Zergs, Krios, ended up winning the tournament. And he ended up getting a pizza from Papa John's. That's the place that he chose. So.
Did he get that last night?
Yeah, he got it last night.
Very good. I'm sure it tasted like victory.
Oh, I'm sure it was delicious. His run through the brackets was all Protoss, so I'm sure he sprinkled some Protoss tears on there and devoured it.
There's nothing quite better.
Nope, nothing better than Protoss tears. All right, we're getting ready to start this game here in just 1 second. I'm just getting all the logos set up.
We are actually on Frost for this game 4. An interesting map pick. I think Frost might be the best map in the ladder map pool. When I say best, I mean it creates the best games and it's also very, very, very balanced. An important thing to note about Frost is that Frost is really 3 different maps. When you take into consideration the different spawn points and how they have consequences on which styles are better and which thirds you take and which kind of like when attacking is better, you can have very, very different games depending on the spawn position in Frost.
Yeah, yep, definitely. And it looks like I was kind of hoping for cross spawn, but we got Korean Air up in the top left, playing for Team Gravity. What's the score? 2-1. Yeah.
2-1 Demo.
Okay. Yeah, and playing for Demos Esports. Up in the top right is Demo. Demo from Demos. So we'll see. It's match point. So if he wins this next game, the series is over, and we'll go into our main event, which I'm sure a lot of you hopefully are looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to that main event.
Oh man, Solar versus Tassadar.
All of these series have been really super fun. I mean, before this, if you guys didn't see it, we had the first series was Team Gravity. Team Gravity's the baser, GM Terran player against Love Your Girlfriend's HTO Mario. If you follow Terran streams at all, I'm sure you've checked his out at least once or twice. Really good mech player, really nice guy. And the baser ended up taking the series 3-2, so we did go to the match point or ace match in that series. And I'm really hoping that Korean Air can win this one and take it to the match point in this one as well. It always creates for more exciting games, and it makes it a lot more fun casting, when it's all on the line. This one last game.
Absolutely. So we are seeing pretty much the same openings. Normally, or maybe not normally, but often we see Terrans do fast expand builds. So sometimes even a CC on the low ground can be common on Frost, just because it's a 4-player map, quite large, and normally you can get away with it. He is opting to open up with a Reaper again, which is fine. It is fine. Gives him more control over the game. I'd like to talk really quick about the spawn positions, which are very interesting. We have these players spawning horizontal, which mainly is going to affect which third these players take. I imagine neither of them will take the third that's closest to their main, and will probably take the third outside of their natural, just because that alley that's near the third outside of their main can be very, very good to kite in and out of, especially for Terran against Zerg. So I definitely expect Korean Air to take third outside of his natural. This map, these positions are also very good for spreading creep for Korean Air, because Korean Air's creep only really has to go in one direction, and it's not too long of a rush distance. So there really shouldn't be any fight that doesn't happen on creep this game for Korean Air. So lots of different pros and cons in these positions. Very interesting setup. I'm sure we'll have a good game here.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting to hear it from a Zerg perspective. As far as position-wise, I'm still a little unsure, and I should probably check with the base or a Semper on some of these new maps. I'm not sure which ones are the better ones to take. I mean, there's always, even on Belshir, there's like the controversy: do you take that that pocket expansion like above or below your natural, depending on, or above or below your main, depending on where you spawn, or do you take the one that's straight in line? You know, like you go. Well, straight line from your main to your natural to your third. And I guess it just kind of depends.
I think it really depends on the style and the build you're going to play. So if you're going to play kind of a 3-base Marine Mine non-stop rally push, I think taking thirds closer to your opponent is always going to be better. So on Belshir, taking one that's nearer to your main would be better. If you do want to play maybe a longer game or mech, or any kind of longer game, nice link. Those links jumped up exactly, or those Reapers jumped up exactly where those links are. Very, very nice positioning from Green Air. But if you are going to play a game where you intend to play for a longer game, I think taking the other third might be a little bit safer. But very, very interesting decisions to be made.
Yep. Me personally, I would take the third. And I may be wrong in this, but I would take the third. That's that up towards the top side. If I was Demo, Korean Air, 99% sure he's going to take that one lower towards the middle of the map, right?
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I would be very surprised if he took the top one, and I think it is maybe more appropriate for Demo to take this top one too. The Zerg attacking through that hallway at the top isn't as relevant as a Terran possibly doing that with Marines, mines, and nice kiting.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to wall off as well. With a few depots and a bunker, you can really kind of fortify that position and not have to worry about it too much. Demo decides that he does not want to go for that early push with that Viking out. Goes for the quick 3cc, and now Korean Air is scouting it. So maybe he's like, all right, that's worked twice. Maybe he's going to catch on. Maybe he's going to figure out how to defend it this next time. So I'm going to go ahead and go into a macro game and take it from there. So Korean Air spots it a mile away, so he can read it. Demo, stopping at 6 Hellions, so that's standard.
Very, very interesting. I'd like to talk real quick about this. So all these games so far, Demo has done this later 3cc build where he gets an army out, he does this poke. When really, if you look at Korean Air's build that he does every single CVT, it's really not that good against that. Playing 3cc is much better against Korean Air's build because Korean Air stays on 2-base longer. He gets more drones on 2-base. He takes a safer third. So any kind of 2-base push is normally going to do a little bit worse against Korean Air style.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So I definitely understand Demo's choice now to take this third CC. It'll be interesting to see where he does end up flying this over to. Interesting to note, Korean Air did open up this game with 5 queens, so he has 3 queens, all for spreading creep. He might use one of these for this hatchery, so he doesn't have to make a new one, which is actually pretty cool. I actually like that a lot. But as I was talking about earlier, this creep is going to get going very, very quickly down this hallway, and really there shouldn't be any fight that does not happen on creep in this game, just because of how easy it is to spread creep in these positions.
Yeah, definitely. And the close positions, I guess, would kind of benefit Demo, but also, as you said, they should all be on creep as well. Needs to be careful. Almost gets us around. Good positioning from Demo, pulling those guys back towards the ledge so they would get that wall up against their back. I really would have liked. Kriener knew that these Hellions and Reapers were down on this left side, and I really would have liked if he would have just countered attacked with the Lings. And even if they ran into a wall, I mean the depot's down. If Demo wouldn't have seen it coming, but even if he reacted in time to lift that depot, he wouldn't have been out. You know, he could have just ran back home. But there was no way that these Reapers and Hellions would have been in position. So I would have liked if he tried to do that, knowing that these Demo's Reapers and Hellions were way on the left side.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and we actually are seeing Demo take this third, this more exposed third, not the one nearer to his main. So just by seeing this, ooh,
that's a lot of Zerglings.
That was a close position. Yeah, that's a lot of Zerglings. Just by seeing this, my first instinct would be, okay, Demo is planning some kind of very heavy marine mine rally push, which is very good in these positions. It has the negative with the creep that's going to be spread very quickly and easily, but it has the pros with there's not that much of a rush distance, so your reinforcements are going to join your main army very, very quickly.
Yeah, you were right. He did take that base there. And Korean Air's creep spread is starting to get move along pretty well. He does get the surround. Wow.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That is the worst feeling.
This entire push is going to be a little bit weaker now.
It's going to be a lot weaker.
Those to kite against banelings to do a lot, and now those are just gone from the game.
That's going to be a lot weaker. Baneling's speed just finished up. He's going to try to do a drop, but I mean the creep is getting to the point where he's going to see it coming a pretty good distance away, and he's going to try to push as well. I think it's going to get crushed on. Yeah, Korean Air sees it instantly. He's moving up to the top side. Needs to watch out for the Marines in the front though.
And this is a very dangerous time to drop. No, like, this is when mutas come out, and we are seeing the first ones come out right now. So any drop has the potential of being killed. But we do see an engagement in the middle of the map. Pretty good for Korean Air. The entire army gets cleaned up, and this medevac's going to die. There is this drop in the main now, but Korean Air left some Lings here to deal with it, and the Lings he left bought him just enough time for more to come out, and I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah. Yep. Cleans up the army at the front. Demo managed to get a decent amount of worker kills there, or not worker kills, but just I guess Ling kills. I don't think he got too many. He only got 3 worker kills. Gonna lose a medevac. Needs to micro back. He doesn't want to lose a mutilist for this, and he just barely does not. Yeah. 2-2s finishing up. Actually the armor's a little bit behind, but not the end of the world.
So we are getting into a situation where I begin to fear a little bit for Demo. His original plan got shut down pretty hard, and now he's going for another 3-base push, but just look at how much Korean Air has, and this fight is absolutely going to happen on creep. These 2 Widow Mines need to be cleaned up, though, because the Queen gets hit a little bit.
Yeah, taking a shot on the Queen is nice.
Yeah. So Korean Air is going to move in here. The Widow Mine shots are going to be a big deal. Korean Air sending a few Lings in there to blow up the Widow Mines. Did a great job, and he's going to clean this up easily.
Yep,
like
and again
all the
he's...
medevacs are ready to get out, though.
Yeah, he's trying to target down those medevacs. He knows that's what he needs to do, and that's kind of what won him that game on Polar Night. But the reinforcements chasing it away. 4th is situated, starting to get up and running here, and the creep's getting pushed back. But in return, he's having to put his army on top of it, which is always scary. And there's only 1 mine, the second one coming in on the way, but not too much. We'll see if he can waste that shot.
Oh, big hit on the Marines. He's going to run in here, but there really isn't too many banelings. Good splits. Pretty good splits, and really there's just so much, and these reinforcements are coming so quick for Demo, and the scariest thing for KA now is going to be trading an army for Marines and mines, and then not having any more banelings for the next attack that's going to come very, very soon. He is going to be able to get some out, but that's what I think is the scariest thing in KA's position right now. The fact that Korean Air has gotten this 4th up is very, very good for him.
Yeah, he's got it up. It's mining the gas. Again, there's only 2 medevacs on the field. 2 more are finishing up. Okay, I thought Demo definitely did forget about them for a little while, but he grabbed them, boosted them over there. But the medevac count isn't too scary. I mean, he wants to have 5, 6, 7, 8 at this point. But that creep's getting pushed back. There's not too many active tumors, but there still are queens that can do it. He might try to set up a flank here. I'm not sure. Just grabbing that watchtower, it looks like, for now. Drop's going to get spotted a mile away.
we do have Demo's 2-2 finishing and immediately starting his 3-3, fixing the mistake that he made on Polar Knight with forgetting the 3-3 for a little bit, which I think played a big role in that game. So as soon as his 3-3 gets done, it's going to be very, very good for Demo. We might see a little bit of a fight here. There's a lot of Lings and Banelings though. These Banelings are all clumped up.
Yeah.
But the Widow Mines go off on things that don't really matter, and Korean Air cleans this up easily, even getting all the metabacks.
Yeah, I didn't like Korean Air taking that fight there off of creep. All the Banelings were clumped up. I think he got extremely, or he got pretty lucky, and Demo got pretty unlucky that those Banelings did not get hit. Does take out the spawning pool on the main.
There was a drop in the main right now that actually killed the Spire, which is a very, very big deal. Korean Air won't be able to make any more mutas for almost a minute while that Spire builds.
No,
never mind. Was that the Spire?
Nah, spawning pool.
Spawning pool. Okay, that's
Spire's
even a bigger
still
deal.
alive.
Yeah, that's even a bigger deal because Korean Air needs to be constantly making Lings to hold off this rally push, and any time that he can't make Lings is going to be quite a big deal. So I think this is going to be Demo's best opportunity to get something done. The spawning pool is almost done, so he'll be able to make his Lings again. But as the time goes on, we get nearer and nearer to this 3-3 finishing, which is going to be a big boost to Demo's army.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He's getting that Thor. I guess he's like, yeah, those Mutalisks were a pain in the ass last game. Let's go ahead and get that Thor out early. He's going to try to fight off a creep, and we'll see how these Widow Mines do.
Yeah, he does not. I do not think he wants to take this fight off the creep, but he's going to go for it. Oh my god, huge Widow Mine hits on those Banelings, and now there's no more Banelings left. There's one Baneling with 1 HP, and that's not going to do anything against all of these Marines. And the Thor does exactly what it needs to against the Mutas, and Korean Air's in trouble.
Yeah, he's got a decent muta count. Supplies are pretty even. Army supplies are pretty even, but he definitely didn't want to take that fight off a creep. I think he's trying to force these engagements, and it's just... he didn't really need to take it right there. It wasn't like his fourth base was in immediate danger. But he felt like he needed to do it for some reason.
It looks like we're going to have another fight. These Banelings are clumped up. The Widow Mine goes on Lings, though. And
he's going to get aggressive with these mutas.
So much here for Demo. Yeah, getting aggressive with these mutas, this is a good idea. After losing his fourth, he needs to make something happen in regards to economy. So that was a nice run by getting out of there at a good time, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But this is a scary army pushing in now, and he's up 20 supply. 3-3 is finishing right on time.
And 3-3 has finished.
We'll see if these Banelings can get big hits there.
Oh my god, huge Widow Mine hits on those Banelings, and that was just huge. And now that Demo's 3-3 is finished, his army is, I mean, it's almost just better than Korean Air's at this point. It's still going to come down a lot to micro positioning, but Demo definitely has the edge in any further fights that happen in this game.
Yeah, losing those, that huge Baneling hit really hurt, and he might actually, it might happen again right here, yeah.
And another huge one.
Wow,
so many,
that's good game.
He knows. You can't have that many Banelings die to Widow Mines, especially in a game where it's 2-2 versus 3-3, so.
Yep.
Really well played from Demo. That's going to be the series. Demo takes it 3-1. And, well played.
Yeah, very well played. Fun series, a lot of back and forth games, and, definitely the one on Polar Knight was my favorite. I think that was,
yeah, Polar Knight was an incredible game.
That was fun to see. So, Demo does take that 3-1, securing his first official victory in Team Gravity's fight.